I have insurance, and so I don't need to focus on anything else other than just my physical well-being, because a bike is completely replaceable. And the fact that you have insurance and that you're protected and you're covered, all you need to do is focus on yourself and getting yourself better. Like, I'm going to try and I'm going to take risks and I'm going to take chances, because why else? Why would you not, right? I'm Alicia Speak. I'm 37. I'm a full-time lawyer, but I'm also a cyclist for Cycle Team London.
All right, we get all the twats out of the room at the back. Apparently Peter Andre, no, I won't tell a joke. Anyway, it's a very special moment for me, this, all right? I ain't going to set up here and pretend to be Matt Barbette and all smooth talking. And, you know, cycling to me has been everything, my whole life, you know, and I love it. And there's one man in particular, though, that when I was 14 years of age, living in a council estate in London, that I wanted to be. We had 2 rides that time. Some of them had obviously gone before that, obviously the great Robert Miller, and we had Chris Boardman, who's boring as fuck. I love him to bits. But I had someone I really resonated with in Sean Yates, and I was very fortunate to. I never realised that, you know, kind of 18 years later, that I'd win the tour with him and, you know, become very close with him. And I took him for Sunday roast the other week, and he's the only man who pronounces my name without a D, Bradley. I know he was a hero to many, not for the races he won, more for the races he didn't win, because he was so selfless, and his motivation was always to ride for other people. He's the hardest man I know. He's the skinniest man I know. He's put some weight on since he stopped. And I'd like to introduce to you my hero, Sean Yates.
Thank you.
Right. Take a seat, Sean.
Will do.
Look, some bloke said to me, do you want to give you a load of questions to answer? I was like, I've got a master's degree in Sean Yates. I ain't going to sit up and go, right, Sean, tell me, when did you start cycling? Fuck all that. I have most of Sean's jerseys from his career, lots with numbers on still. I brought just a few of them along, and I just thought, you know, this guy's a storyteller. He's bonkers. The only man I know does 9-hour rides the day before a World Championship. As you see, he's let himself go quite a bit since he stopped. I just thought, you know what, the jerseys are a big thing in my life, as people know, and I'm just going to let Sean talk, because otherwise I'll shut up, and I'll end up licking his face. We'll go. I'm just going to let you talk, Sean, because you know you're the man of the people. You know, you've had an earring for 40 years.
I have indeed.
So
I once had a bet with Dago to Lawrence, and he said, "I bet you don't have an earring past 30 years old."
Fuck Dago.
Here I am, you know.
But we'll start in '88. I didn't bring any Peugeot lot. And I'll let Sean tell the story of these, because there's a story behind every jersey, really. But this is 1988, Parry-Nice Leaders jersey. And Sean, I'm sure there's a story behind it. Just love the way it's all stitched on there. There's a beans on toast stain on it. And you took it on stage 2, didn't you, Sean?
Stage 2, yeah. I dug this one out because I had all my jerseys in a suitcase in the attic. And when Bradley mentioned he was interested in some of my jerseys, I went up there.
I was a pervert.
And I had to dig around, and this is one of the ones I thought, okay, that's not bad. That was, you know.
I said I'll have it.
That was a good win, and obviously a good leader's jersey. Stage 2, as you said, '88. It was freezing cold. The stage was in Saint Etienne.
You got second on the stage, didn't you?
No, won the stage.
You won the stage?
Yeah, by 2.5 minutes, please.
I got that question wrong in the exam, don't worry.
2.5 minutes. So I was in Fagor at the time, as you can see, and we decided to attack at the free zone, which obviously we didn't make us very popular. We weren't very popular anyway.
And they bang on about Movistar, didn't they?
And we came to the free zone.
No one questioned you, did they? What?
Shut up. We came to the free zone, and we just smashed it through the free zone. Directly after the free zone, there was a climb. There was directly 30 guys left. I felt really good that day, and I just took off from the group with, I think, with Fignon and
Legends.
Kelly, Motte, and the rest, and I just soloed the last 60k to St Etienne, and it was a tailwind, but I was absolutely flying, even by my.
I bet you rode home after the finish, didn't you?
You know, and I've actually
probably in flip flops.
I've still got the result sheet, which I showed to Bjarne Riis because he was at 40 minutes.
Fucking hell.
Andy Pandy,
he got a good offer,
Hampson, sorry, was at 40 minutes. There were guys everywhere.
What did you used to call Andy Hampston?
Andy Pandy.
Yeah.
And yeah, obviously I took the jersey by 2 minutes. I managed to hang on to it, you know, for a number of days until the inevitable happened, and Sean Kelly went on to win another Paris-Nice. Yeah. But that was one of my best days. I remember going to a mountain, and Patrick Valk came alongside me. He said, "You want something to eat?" And I said, "No, I'm not hungry." And I was just going. There's snow on the side of the road. It one of those days I couldn't feel my legs.
Yeah. You know, on Sean could cut someone down in 2 words, you know, and they listened to Sean, the respect. I remember Bobby Julich telling me, he's a bit of a geek, Bobby, and he was saying when he joined Motorola, you got Tour of Med or something, and he roomed with you.
Yes,
you were this sort of old Sean Yates. He said, I was just laying there, man, and I hadn't even brushed my teeth or anything, and all of a sudden Sean turns all the lights out and goes to bed. He said, I didn't know what to do. He didn't have phones to put the light on and all that. He said he didn't turn the light on because Sean, that's it, we're going to bed. Right, sleep.
Yeah, I am quite abrupt, and to this day, which is obviously not everyone's cup of tea, but I remember that actually. It was in, I got an amazing memory for cycling facts, like yourself, but outside of that, I can't remember nothing.
No.
But that hotel was in Mandelieu. Phil probably knows it. Phil Anson, if he's here still. Phil? He's gone home to bed.
He's pissed. He's
got jet lag.
He's been on the payroll.
But that was very close where he used to live. So, yeah, Bobby was a character.
Good, right. Better go on to another jersey. We can be all night. I was told you've got a story behind everyone. It's the same year. I mean, everyone, this is 1988. Tour de France stage win. It's still the fastest time trial without tri-bars, I believe, Sean?
I think so, yes.
Yeah.
Without tri-bars, yes. Yeah, 88 was a kind of...
I bought that for €49 off some Frenchman whose dad died. One of the cheapest ones.
What are you doing with it?
I got this skin suit, some British bloke. I'll have it. 20 quid.
This was 88, as you said, which was a good year for me. Fago was a very...
Did Team Sky model their new skin suits off of this one?
Unorganised team, and before the Tour de France, I said I was leaving, and they almost didn't pick me to ride the race. But before this actual day, which was up near Lille, where I used to live with.
You were off early as well that day, weren't you?
Yeah, with the late Paul Schurin. Yeah. So I knew the roads quite well, and I was feeling good that year. And
don't scrunch up, please, Sean.
Sorry.
30 years old. Yeah.
I mean, it looks it, I tell you. I felt great, and I told the mechanic to put 54 on.
Yeah.
And I was just another day where I had great legs. I followed the lead motorbike. We didn't do a recon in those days. It was all about, just kind of going for it, looking at the motorcycle, brake lights.
You remember what chain ring you told me, didn't you? You had 54 on.
I had a 54, 12.
Not like the 58 when I won the world.
Yeah. But you had I was off.
But that was a big chain ring then, wasn't it?
It was big, yeah. I mean,
said to me, I didn't change gear once, Bradley.
I didn't, I don't think.
Fuck it, what for?
No, I was off early, and I did have the advantage of a nice...
How long was it?
Bit of a tailwind, 50k or so. 50. So, yeah.
It was 49k an hour average, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah. So I was motoring. I had a time check on Fignon, who was off, I think, just behind me. I was like 3 minutes up on him. I was in good shape then. That was obviously...
No wonder you've got a fucking heart problem now.
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't done and dusted by that time. He almost won the Tour in 89, didn't he? So, yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of my... Obviously, winning a stage with the Tour is a highlight of anyone's career.
And then the year after, Greg brought tri-bars in, didn't he? So your record remains intact.
Yes, that's it. But we were the first guys to use tri-bars as well.
Yeah.
Trump Tour in Atlantic City when Dagotto won the race. So he decided, the race would be in his grasp. So we decided to bust them out. Greg saw it.
Can you remember how many of them skin suits you had that year? Was it 1 or 2?
I don't know, 1, I guess.
The bikes were a shower of shit, Robert told me. I remember.
We had MBKs. Obviously, there's a world of difference between now and then.
They weren't the best bread. Say it as is, Sean. But yeah, But it was a good year, though, don't you? You won a stage in the World as well.
I won a stage in Middle Eve. I should have won 2.
Short shorts.
Won a stage in the...
you beat Dino that year, didn't you? Dino Davey in the...
Yes, in Laka. Haka, which is obviously I live in Spain now.
Somewhere in Spain, yeah.
That's my kind of fame to all the Spanish locals, So
and then you left to 7-Eleven, of course, for 18
Left to 7-Eleven. I rang up my friend Dagoto and I said, you need to get me out of this team. It's a shambles. They got adrift to that and they threatened to not pick me for the tour.
Did you used to have an off-season?
Yes.
So I remember you telling me once that I used to have a couple of weeks off, then you go 2 hours, 3 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, and just build up like that, wouldn't you? And if I got tired, I'd have a break bed. It was really very, considering how it is now, because obviously you're
Yes, I mean, we did have a decent off-season, certainly in the early years, but the time of Fagor, that was the year after that year I went to, after 88, I went to Australia.
Oh, yeah, God, that was another story, wasn't it?
Tax dollars.
When you rode across Australia in a pair of
budget
Speedos.
smugglers, and one of them got shouted at...
There was that quick story, we could be here all night, some of your stories, but you rode 100k in the wrong direction with a tent on the back of your bike.
Something like that,
so
yeah.
You got off the plane in Sydney...
40 degrees after...
And just rode for 100k, I thought, I've gone the wrong way here.
Turned
around, rode 100k back, and then it was dark, so you set your tent up for the night.
No, a guy just pulled
up. I'm going to Australia for the winter. Got 3 kids at home, fuck it, don't matter.
A guy pulled up in his pickup truck and said, you want a lift?
This was before the modern man,
I said, yes, please. And I chucked my bike in the back. He took me to Brisbane, Surfers Paradise, actually. I set my tent up. And then some local kids got drunk and they were fighting. And the next minute, they were all on top of my tent. And I was severely jet-lagged, wanted to sleep, and they were like bundling on top of my tent. So, yeah.
And then you obviously came back and joined 7-Eleven, which became Motorola, didn't it?
That's it, yes. So that...
Wevel game 89. 500k breakaway in the rain. No gloves.
I did have gloves on, actually. But
they had to tell him he'd finished. He ended up in Brussels. No, but that was you got second there, didn't you? You were all day the break, wasn't you?
247k breakaway.
3 degrees, wasn't it?
Something like that, yeah. I mean, 247k in a 4-man breakaway. Yeah. Thank you. I mean, not many people can lay claim to a 247k breakaway.
You did last Saturday, didn't you?
I did, actually, not far off. I'm just back on my bike. My health is improving.
So
I tweaked the old pacemaker, and I'm back on it. I'm building. I mean, last year, the comeback is imminent.
Did you win the Tour of Belgium that year as well, didn't you?
I won the Tour, Johan, Prondrest.
Sore legs.
All these guys, yeah. I just give a quick massage. That bike from yesterday's hurting.
And then obviously that was what became Motorola, wasn't it, really?
Yes. Judy Griffin.
Were they the best years, the Motorola years, that American setup?
Well, obviously, yes, it was fun times. I had a good position. By that time, I knew exactly what I was capable of. American team. There was
the first one, weren't they? The first one to sort of what we now know as Garmin and all these teams, wasn't it?
Yes.
Because let's just take you back. Obviously, I remember another bloody story told me now. But when you were at Peugeot and you went to do Paris Tour and you turned up at Gare du Nord.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was...
Paris Tour started in Paris. You had to ride 100k. You got there at midnight with a rucksack on.
I may look stupid, but I ain't that stupid.
No, what?
I lived in Tours.
You lived in Tours.
And I had to get the train to Paris, cycle across Paris, and then north to Compiègne.
It was 100k, wasn't it, from Paris?
About 60, 70.
Yeah. So you got there at midnight, didn't you?
Not midnight. It was dark and it was raining.
10-2.
On my bike. But what happened was I got my wallet stolen.
There, they gave me a baguette and a can of Coke.
I got my wallet stolen at Tours, then I missed the train, and so I was late getting to Paris. I knew Paris because I lived there in 81. I cycled right across Paris and then 60k north in the rain. I mean, it's insane.
In flip-flops?
Not flip-flops. In my tracksuit.
Then you got there, had a meal, and rode Paris Tour the next day and rode back to the train station.
It's mental when you think about it now. Totally.
So that was in '84, wasn't it?
That was 83, I think, maybe 83.
And then obviously I've gone.
I
Back
came
right,
third in Paris Russell one year.
Sure you did.
One of my big results behind.
Obviously, a year after.
Rolf Sorensen and the late Franco Ballerini.
Year after, this story's the best of the lot. You know, first Tour de France, 1984. When you told me about that stage from Nantes to Bordeaux, 350k.
333, yeah. I mean,
Took us 12 hours.
10 hours.
10 hours, yeah.
We left it, yeah, obviously, I was a neo-pro, I was 85 kilo, 84 kilo. I mean, it's crazy when you look back how it was, but you just did it, because that's what you know.
But then what did you do after the tour? First Tour de France,
that you
did 23 criteriums, I did 50.
30.
No, 30.
So
50,
I did,
how many days racing did you straight?
well, 55 days.
And you slept in the Capri gear, didn't you? I did.
I slept with Alan Piper in the same house, not the same bed.
So you did 50 days straight?
50 days in a row. I doubled my year's salary with the 30 crits.
Criteriums, yeah.
But I said never again, because I was so
But
dead.
what was you in that winter?
Tell me again?
What was you in that winter? The famous woods.
I was in a fucking coma.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you know, Robert obviously had won the climber jersey and had me and Piper along as his domestiques, you know, because obviously they wanted the climber jersey and all these criteriums. So we went along and, but yeah, as I said never again, even though it doubled my year's salary. You know, so I was making 10 grand a year. I made 20.
Yeah.
It was all kind of cash in hand, but it was just too hard.
I'm just going to have to rush through some of these other stories.
But it finished me for the year after, which almost cost me.
We've got another 20 years to get through yet. But the when you were at Peugeot, because I know Kev Riley, obviously, he was with you at ACCB, you all lived on that apartment block, didn't you?
Yes.
Kev tells this story. You didn't have a toilet, so you used to wee off the balcony.
We had a toilet, but I couldn't be asked to go to the toilet in night time.
And there was a big green patch.
Yeah,
and in those days, you do 1,000 press-ups a day, weren't you?
I used to do 500 a day.
And eat, how many cloves of garlic?
Tell me again?
You used to eat cloves of garlic.
That was later on.
That was later on.
Yeah,
We'll get to that.
We had this thing at Motorola about
You were into
the garlic.
bodybuilding, weren't you?
Yeah, I did the track, see, and the track guy, I can't remember, Willie Moore, or who it was, said he needed to bulk up a bit. So I started doing the old press up, and it got a bit out of hand.
How many did you do a day? 500?
Well, I did 500 a day for 5 years or whatever. And then
No wonder you were 85
dropped me in a
kilos.
cross screen, and I thought, what the fuck? This ain't working.
I told you he's fucking mental.
I've still got the pecs, though. I mean, so, yeah.
Pecs and no heart. No, he's lovely. But, so yeah, that was 84. Bloody hell, yeah.
I mean, it's a long time ago.
Let's go back to Bradley. Roll now. I'll keep going back. I won't even bother with the... Oh, sod it. Let's go back even further. 82. What was your training the week before the Worlds in Goodwood?
Well, I mean...
So go back before that, the Track Worlds.
Track Worlds.
How many months?
I targeted the Track Worlds, the Pursuit of Leicester. So I thought, you know, we didn't have coaches in those days. You know. So I did 4 hours a day interval training.
For how many months?
For 2 months.
Yeah.
So I did 2 hours in the morning. Then I went to work in the garden for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Came back, did my 500 press-ups, and did another 2 hours of interval training. I did that for 2 months solid. After the first month, I had the national championship, and I was flying.
Yeah.
You know, flying.
And then you did the track.
And then the Worlds, and then I kept going for another month, and I was just cooked.
Yeah, but what was your training in the week running up to the World Road Race?
Yeah, so then I bombed in the track Worlds, and I was gutted.
So coma.
I was pretty pissed off myself, so I just went out. I think I did 3 or 4 8-hour rides that week, and the World Championships, which was
the Cerrone one.
180k. I was 44th.
Bloody hell.
Not bad.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
for a 1,000-mile week, you know. And then I flew straight to the Tour of Lavender, which Greg won, actually, you know, one of the previous guests. And needless to say, I was pretty cooked, and I packed. And this is a good story, actually, another one. And I left my car at Charles de Gaulle Airport.
I remember this one. Was that the Capri gear?
No, It was a
You rode round
Ford
the
Taunus with side pipes, V6.
The window
Sounded
didn't
like
go
a
up.
Hurricane jet.
The window didn't go up, did it?
Yeah.
The window was broke.
Yeah, so I flew back. I hadn't let my tyres down in my bike. We only had one bike, so you had to fly with it to the races, train.
Yeah.
Got the bike out of the bike bag. You know, tyres were flat, whatever. But it wasn't a problem because I put it back in my car. But then I went on the motorway heading towards Paris, and I ran out of fuel. Shit. I had the window down because it's hot, and the window was a bit dodgy. So I always had to put it up with pliers. I put the pliers on, clamped it, and it shattered it. Got the bike out of the boot, and both wheels are flat. Okay, well, I've got no choice. I cycled down the hard shoulder to the first bridge, climbed up, went to a local garage, got a can of fuel, and came back.
The gendarmes were there.
The gendarmes were there. And I was like,
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Ça va?
Bonjour.
And they were like, you speak French? I was like, no. And they just like said, go. So I had to drive 250k with the window open. And then I was just, basically I was in a coma. I couldn't get up till midday for the next month or so. But it's character building stuff.
Yeah, same with us. There's a million of these stories. So we'll get back to the jerseys, eh?
Back
to Motorola, because we can't keep going back. We'll end up when you were born. I bet that was a fucking nightmare for your mother. Anyway, yeah, so...
Got a load of motor road.
We're going to go. I reckon go like Bruce Forsyth, cards right. Top, middle, or bottom. This one's the iconic one for me. So that is from the 1992 Leeds Classic. It's still got blood on it. I don't know why you had blood on it that day. But that's the one I remember. My first poster on my wall when I was a kid was when you got 1993 Paris-Roubaix. I think you got 8th that year, didn't you?
Yes.
You had the British Champs jersey. I didn't know who you were. I was lucky to get that. So iconic. And I think that's, when I was British champ, I always remember, like kind of yourself and Brian Smith had it. But it was, do you enjoy being national champ that year?
I did enjoy it. I didn't do the nationals much. I did it my first year where I was second behind John Herity. I think I did it the second year. And then the next time was when I did it, and I won it, and I was away with Brian. And I think that's the only time I did it. I only did it 3 times. Obviously,
you rode the tour as British champ, did you?
Close to the tour. Yeah, I rode the tour with the British champ. It was great. I was introduced to the King of Belgium by Eddie Merckx because I had the national jersey on, for example.
That was the day you won the national champs. That was that one. Beat Brian Smith, didn't you?
I beat Brian.
You wore a normal helmet with like some sort of canoe cover over.
Yes, because I had to, because the guy paid my flight up there, so I had to wear this, whatever you want to call it, condom on my head, And needs must, as I say.
I think that was that one. That was the year before. So that's 1992 Paris-Roubaix. You wore a black hairnet with a massive Oakley pilots, didn't you?
Yes. Paris-Roubaix, it took me 7 or 8 years to actually finish the race, but then I found out that race kind of suited me. And being that team, we had Steve Bauer and George and Frankie, but yeah, I kind of found my niche in that race, and it suited me down to the ground. It's flat. It's all about power and positioning, and I really got my teeth into that.
Your ex-teammate won that year, didn't he? Duclos.
Yes.
Yeah. And then obviously this one was the one I remember. I was 14. Schmill, the best Paris-Roubaix there ever was. Went 60k to go, didn't he? And you were there behind him. You had a wetsuit on that day, didn't you, under your clothes because it was so cold.
It was cold. I didn't have a wetsuit. I had a pad.
You had it in that winter, though, didn't you?
I had a pad. Yeah,
You trained in a wetsuit in Belgium.
I went to live in Belgium.
Trained in a wetsuit on a tax dodge.
Because my son had just been born, and I had to get out of the country. Not because that didn't sound right. Sorry. Anyway, I was in Belgium staying at Dak Olsen's house near Kortrijk, and I spent the winter in Belgium training, and I had the wetsuit, which I picked up in Australia as a shorty. And apart from the a bit sore on the old crotch, it's perfect for the bad weather. So the long rides in Belgian winter were kind of leading up to that.
I remember that Schmill went that year, didn't he? How many punches did you have that day?
I don't think I had any.
You came back right at the end, didn't you?
Yes, I didn't have any punches, I don't think, that day. We had problems with the mud in the forks and the brakes, but yeah, it wasn't epic.
I remember that group,
I had nothing left. When Ballerini went, I knew he was going to go, and Baldato went with him. Chimil was long gone.
Ludwig, Capio, they're all there, weren't they?
Ludwig, Capio, Duclos. Yeah, that was.
No helmet.
That was it. No helmet. That was an epic. That was epic. That will remain with me forever. Fifth, yes, and that. Then I think it was voted one of the toughest.
It was the best
classic of the past century.
Museau got to within 6 seconds of Chimil.
He got so close to Chimil, and he couldn't quite make it.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's kind of the grudge match, the two Belgian teams.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a big, and it was snowing at the start.
So, this is a great story. This one, this is covered in blood. This one. So this was the '91 tour, wasn't it? Phil's here actually. You crashed into Phil, didn't you?
Yes. 91. That was, yes.
And there's a famous picture of Sean covered in blood. You've got bandages all around.
Yes.
Helmet.
Still got the scar here.
And that's that jersey number 7. So that was the night when you actually abandoned, didn't you, after that?
Yes,
crash?
I abandoned.
Tell the story, because it's bloody broken.
Well, it was in the Massif Central, and I don't really know what happened. I know Phil was near me.
You were doing 100k an hour, I remember.
No, we were.
You had this mic thing, didn't you? Was that the first time?
No, Phil had the mic. As Motorola, being a communications company, we were the first guys to have the communication with the team cars. I didn't personally have it. Phil had it. And we were going up a little drag. It was all pretty calm. I think someone just came across me. I was pretty much in the front row and took my front wheel out. Yeah. And next minute I was on the ground and blood was like spurting out.
The brake went into your arm, didn't it?
I think so. A brake lever or something went into me and blood was spurting, you know. And Phil had come down. He jumped up and he was like talking like, man down, back to the team car. And in the team car, we had a 5-star general from the US Army who had his bodyguard with him. And the bodyguard like, jumped out the car like with his gun, you know. and the race doctor, Laporte, what's his name? He just kind of...
Gerard Porte.
Gerard Porte, I held my hand like that. He just put like gaffer tape around it, you know, and it stopped the flow. And
your back was never the same after that. You always have to have your saddle off to one side.
Yes, I was a bit messed up.
I T-banned him.
And Argentina won the stage. I got to the finish, and I always remember Paul Sherman come back. Sean, come and talk. And I said, "Fucking hell, Sean, Paul, sorry. You only ever want to talk to me when I crash, you know." I didn't start the next day. I went back to Nice, had it sewn up, and took a bit of a rest.
Did 8 hours the day after. You know, you're talking about Paul because this is what I remember the most. Again, 1994. I used to bunk off school a lot, to watch the tour in those days, and was it Van to Ren or something like 270k, wasn't it?
It was the longest stage of the tour.
The break went sort of last 25k on pure power, didn't it?
Yes.
Abdu Japarov was there.
Bontempi, Hepner, Bortolami, Frankie.
And the MGs were chasing like crazy. Museau had the jersey, or Panzella, one of them.
Yes.
And, you talk about Paul Sherman. I never forget the interview as soon as you crossed the line. When you're waiting to see the time and Paul Sherman comes, Sean, you've done it, man. How do you feel? And you went, unbelievable. And he goes, Sean, after such a long career, he goes, just shows you. Not over to the fat lady sings. And then the peloton come in.
Yes.
Dag shouts at you, did you win, man? And he goes, yellow.
Yes.
Across the thing. And obviously that was shared with Paul Sherwin, didn't it? So
yes.
But it took it by 1 second from Bortolami.
1 second. Yeah. I mean, unbeknown to us, obviously, I didn't have a radio in this day and age. The time gaps would have been communicated to the riders verbally. I didn't know that Bortolami was so close. There were 20-second time bonuses. Yeah. He was 21 seconds down on GT. So he clipped off. If we hadn't closed that gap in the final 300 metres, he would have had a jersey and I would have been in for a mighty surprise. Because we thought the gap was to the bunch,
Yeah.
But.
And then obviously it was just after Britain, wasn't it? And obviously that went through.
Yes.
Your training roads, didn't it?
Yes.
Do you ever imagine the tour would go through there?
No.
I remember I never forget watching it, obviously Liam
over
and all that.
Forest, no, I never
Your dad was there with a bottle of wine when he climbed.
We were there, obviously that was a big year for the British riders. Chris getting the prologue with that 56 k/h average prologue. And we missed the team time trial victory by 6 seconds in Calais, which I'm gutted. You know, I never won a team trial.
Rouleur Classic. You're going to go.
I never won a team time trial on the tour, which, you know, team time trial was my thing. I love the team time.
How long was the team time trial? About 70k, wasn't it?
Something like that, yeah. I mean, we used to do, there used to be long time trials. In 87, the time trial on the tour was 87k, you know.
But the day after, when you had yellow, there was a bonification. I remember watching that.
Yes.
Sayo was going for it. And Rolf from Denmark, he held you back in the sprint, didn't he?
Yeah, Rolf, I mean, because Phil was kind of, also on my side and in my team, obviously, and trying to do a bit of switching and a bit of dodgy work. And, Rolf got the hump and hang on to my jersey. I mean, I was never going to beat Johan in a sprint. So for me, 1 day or 2 was pretty much the same. But yeah, it did add a bit to the storyline.
Yeah, well, we'll finish up here with this one. Because that was the last, you climbed off, didn't you? In 95, the tendonitis.
Climbed off that, yeah.
Last Tour de France.
Last Tour de France. I had tendonitis, couldn't continue.
Well, you were going to stop after 94, weren't you? And Lance convinced you to carry on, didn't he?
I was going to stop before 94, I
carry
think.
on, man.
I kept on going for a few more years. Yeah, as I said, it was a fantastic team. It all came to an end. Lance got cancer. The sponsor pulled out, and I was getting too old.
Yeah.
But I could have kept going for sure for another.
You did. You came home and rode 10 mile time trials the next 5 years.
I won the National 50 Championship.
You won a National 50. And the BAR. Did you win the BAR?
No, I never did that. No.
I reckon you won it.
But, I mean, we talked obviously a lot about my cycling career as a rider.
And then you went to CSC a few years later, didn't you?
But, I'm almost as proud, or if not more proud, of my de-essing career.
Yeah.
Which obviously was of equal length, around 15 years.
Yeah. Started in 2003, was it?
2000. I started in 2000 with Liam McCartney.
Of course, I was in that bloody team. You rang me up.
Yeah.
I mean, you rang my mum's landline after the Olympics in 2000 and said, Belly, you've got to pay 35 grand, man. Bloody hell, I'm rich. And then obviously I came to Linda McCartney and Sean signed me.
Small world.
Bradley, Sean Yates. Wet myself. And then we went to that hotel, didn't we? And Linda McCartney folded.
Yes, and that was it for that until 2010 when we met up again.
Team Sky.
Team Sky, yeah. Which obviously culminated in winning the tour in 2012 with you.
I know that's still your. Well, I think from a rider's, I think most of the riders, Matt Hayman's here, and Sean would be out 4 o'clock in the morning in flip-flops on a bike, wrecking the routes.
Yes.
And you'd drive around Europe after like a Dauphiné and just go at everything, every detail. Every time trial we did, you'd have every corner, right, left, this, that and the other.
I mean, I was divorced by that time.
I know there's one that gives you that.
So I had time on my hands.
Yeah.
And, my thing was, the riders need to know that what I say is correct, and they don't need to doubt it for 1 second.
Well, I know there's one stage that you'll never forget with it that you masterminded, didn't you? Really, and it went to plan, didn't it?
The
Belfield one.
Yeah, yes. Which obviously they're going up next year. Sorry, in the tour, in the time trial. But they're applying to Belfield. That's the first chapter of my book.
Yeah.
That day was,
I remember the radio.
We had so many good days. I've had so many good days.
Valverde dropped. Schleck dropped.
It was just like carnage.
Yeah. I didn't look round because I was doing 500 watts.
With the win of Salvadelli in the 2005 Giro, Alberto winning the Giro in 2008. Obviously 2012, I think the year in pro cycling stats, whatever it's called, that Team Sky won the biggest percentage in the history of the modern cycling of races. And that's Team Sky as a whole. The teams I managed, the teams I took to the races, we won like 90% pretty much. We won everything. Not only one-day races with like Edvald and Rigoberto, and it's amazing.
And if you think you go back to sort of Goodwood when you rode that world title on that, after the tour, I asked you to come and sit carry on sit in the car behind me in London.
Yes.
You got the train up to Victoria that day.
Yes, I did. Yes.
I mean, me aside on that day, to see where cycling had come to that point when you go back to Goodwood 30 years before that.
Yes, I mean, it's nice.
Someone asked you for a photo at Victoria, didn't they? Did you get on a Boris bike and ride to Hampton Court?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we'd won every time trial that year, me and you. undefeated, and it was natural that I should come up and be behind you. It's my passion. The bike is my passion, and seeing people win is my passion, and doing the best for the rider is my passion. And obviously, you at the top of your game. That day was unbelievable. You were absolutely flying, and everything went like clockwork. The bike was perfect. You were perfect.
Never got any better than that. 469 watts for 50 minutes.
Just like Fabian, obviously, is here. He got blown out of the water. Okay, he wasn't. Sorry, Fabian. He wasn't in his best shape, but Brady was unbeatable that day.
No, but I remember finishing, and they said, "You've won." I said, "Not till Fabian finishes."
Yeah.
He was. I looked up to him. I never underestimated.
Yeah, but. No, that was, and then I got trained back.
You went train home, did 9 hours.
9 hours, yeah.
And obviously after that you had spells at Saxo, Adam Blythe,
national champion, NFTO, Ride London winner. Yeah. I've had so many great moments. It's too many to mention really, and I think pick anyone out in particular. But cycling is my life.
After what you said tonight about the rides, you're a coach now. If anyone wants him to coach you. You've got 9 hours spare a day. Pay him 50 quid and he'll Why do you do it? 8 hours, 50, 9 hours. But yeah, look, we can sit all bloody night, couldn't we? We probably will later on. But it's a real privilege to me to speak to you, Sean. Obviously,
it's a pleasure being here, obviously, with yourself.
And I hope, obviously, Sean is an icon in British cycling. Obviously, cycling's so big now, isn't it? We talked about the British riders earlier that are going to do so well next year, but these guys and so many before, Phil Edwards, they're like, we can go right back to Tom and Barry and everyone, but as a kid, Sean was my hero. I had an earring, still ain't got one anymore. But I've always put my handlebars down, pulled my shorts up and cut my sleeves. And I wanted to be Sean, and we love him to bits. I'm sure he does. He was an institution. He is an institution in this country, and I think everyone should give him a round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Cheers, mate. Take it easy.